challenge that we have is that we're small. I mean, capacity issues, right? And so building capacity with people of like mind, like spirit is a great thing. But the first thing you need to do is take inventory. Yeah. You have to take inventory of this individual or individuals that you're thinking about considering joining your company or partnering with, in terms of if they have a company, you have a company, you want to build up your company overall in terms of your company's capacity. And so what does that mean? It means that it's very much like a relationship. You actually have to, although we're both speaking the same language, we both are going to have, probably from a cultural standpoint, a different definition of it. Okay. So you work hard and I work hard. Yeah, but that's not enough. What does that mean? Like, when does your day start? When does it end? How are you accessible? And just in terms of communication, you may want to text everything, and I'm like, yo, if I don't get in front of this person, I swear to God. Yeah. So it's very much like a relationship in that sense, that you need to really define at a forensic level all these different things. What is your definition of success, right? Right. We just made in the first quarter $100,000. I'm jumping for joy, and you're sitting there depressed, like, you know what? This is trash. I'm ready to blow up. Right. So, what is your definition of success? What's your definition of hard work? Where do you see yourself in the next 3 years, 5 years? Is this a project, or is this a mission, or is this your legacy? Conversations that are at a forensic level, and you may say to myself, my God, I didn't think of it all like that. Right. Well, that's the reason why a lot of partnerships fall apart, is because the devil's in the details. And it's not that the devil exists in that space, it's just a devil fighting through it, right? Right. So you really want to have this kind of conversation, be very deliberate and intentional about, peeling back these layers. In many ways, you're going to spend more time or invest more time with this partner than you would the people at your house, right? Your children, your significant other, things of that nature. So you really need to be in the mindset that this is for the long haul, right? This is a serious commitment. So start having those conversations about what these things mean, and now you can start to think about whether or not this is someone initially, by the way, you're just dating, not committed yet. And then as you start to see you're in greater alignment about a lot of different things, now you can court them and say, you know what? I'd like to actually pursue a potential partnership. I'd like to pursue that. I'd like to, so get into that dialogue, and then slowly but surely you start to put pen to paper in terms of that commitment. Don't be too fast and say, okay, we're partners now. This is all great. I understand, right? It's January, right? Right. A lot of people want to kick off really quickly and move fast. No. Move slower. Actually be counterintuitive about what it is you're feeling, and say, you know what? There's no need to rush this. Right. You're here, I'm here. As we're getting to know one another, as we're getting to understand what our business logic is, what our business morals are, and how we define certain key things that are going to be necessary for us to operate day in and day out. As we do that and we come into greater alignment and agreement, great. It also, don't be afraid of diversity of thought. That's great. Don't fight that, right? You don't have to be, twins. You could be yin and yang on this, right? So look for diversity of thought. Look for another perspective that's valued and that has the same types of, I would say, work ethic that you have. Because when you're not evenly yoked, right, just like in a real relationship, when you're not evenly yoked, that can start to rear its ugly head. And so what are the things you may need to do to actually make sure that you're able to work with that individual? You may find out, you know what, you just need to be a silent partner. Because at the end of the day, you have some resources and you see the vision, but your day-to-day is not the same as my day-to-day. So maybe you just need to be the silent partner. Maybe at the end of the day, you are going to you're going to be the resource officer. You're going to be the whatever. Identify based off of each other's strengths what role you're going to play, and as you start to solidify that partnership. But again, up front, take inventory. I can't heed that enough. Take inventory of what your strengths are. What are the things that you need to fortify your business and the vision overall? And that's something you mentioned a little bit earlier, and that is your business plan, your vision. Remember, do not run away from concrete, okay, and run to clay. Make sure that it's still moldable. Make sure that your business is still able to be molded and modified and improved, because that other partner that you're considering bringing on board, they may bring on another perspective that hopefully can add on and really create an even stronger vision if you're open to it. But stay in that space while you're looking at a potential partner for also looking at potential modifications to your overall vision.
Okay. How do you, let me ask, do you recommend at all having some sort of business contract that's legally binding before you even get into that? In talking to different people and how they start their businesses with partners, some people go for that, some people don't. I hear more people don't than do. But do you recommend that so that if things get funky a little later on and there's, maybe someone wasn't clear about what's expected of them, you can go back to a piece of paper that says, but we decided that you would do this and I would do that, and the crossing of the lines means we need to stop and rework.
Absolutely. You want to, after, of course, in the initial stages of you talking about your business, you have all types of forms, disclosure forms that you can also make sure that you sign to make sure that it doesn't get duplicated all of a sudden, right? You don't see your business across the street, right? Like, hey, wow, did that just happen, right? So you want to make sure that you do that. But also, as you start to carve out what the roles are in that relationship, you need to definitely make sure that you put pen to paper, that you go ahead and create a contract, because it's higher levels of accountability. And at the end of the day, you're talking about a commitment. And, you've ever heard of the term commitment is what you do long after the feeling for doing it has gone by, right? You're still committed to do those things. You're still committed to function in that role or those responsibilities. And if you no longer are going to do it, maybe you have a clause in there that states that you'll still be responsible for making sure someone else under your umbrella is able to still facilitate that, that function or that responsibility overall. But yes, paper, contract, accountability, being very detailed, and not something really shady, because remember, the reason why you have lawyers is because they need to go ahead and actually provide some detail where a lot of shade exists.
Yeah.
And when you have that contract and you think, well, I have something, but you look at the full contract and it's like, 3 paragraphs, slow down, okay? You just now left a great deal of opportunity for interpretations to go towards and against you.
Right.
And you got to be very careful about this. So yes, please get something down and take your time, again, in terms of being how detailed. If you can't provide this function, then what, right? Think through it. Think steps through it in terms of, if for whatever reason I become ill, well, then what, right? So now you start to get into other aspects of it in terms of the ability to buy my half of the company if it's a partnership, or insurance, right? Key person insurance in terms of if something should happen to my partner in this venture, what do I have? Do I have money to help continue the operation for payroll and other expenses if that person should, have an untimely death, right? So these are some of the things you want to flush out earlier on when you get that partnership going, because it's nothing against that individual. They may say, oh my God, you trying to jinx me. No. I just know that you're human like I'm human.
Yeah.
And, there's nothing to say that you don't get hit by a bus or have a heart attack.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, so it's just about you thinking, right? Take your time, think about different scenarios and fortify your business, because remember, there are a ton of businesses that fail just due to lack of planning, right?
Can we talk about that? Especially, how do you approach everything that you're saying when the business partner is a very good friend? And this is the way the business came about was through conversations y'all just had when you were chilling. And it turned into a business. It was extremely organic. It wasn't planned. It wasn't like, oh, I am deciding to do this and I'm going to go off. It just developed out of the earth. And y'all were equal parts in the development of it. And now you want to present this good friend. Y'all been friends since whenever. You want to present them with all these contracts and information. And how do you do that and maintain the friendship without the friend possibly looking at you like, for real?
Well, the first thing is about accountability, right? Where the shift in your attitude or behavior, your energy, and everything else, there's a core reason for that. Why are you not moving forward with that individual? Why are you not taking it to the next level with that, with that friend, as you mentioned? And a lot of that is that because people are coming to our lives for a season, right? Or for a reason. And we have to understand it and be sensitive to it. So the best thing that you can do is demonstrate a level of loyalty in terms of and appreciation for where you've been, what you've been able to achieve together, and then talk about what's next. So, is it going to be a clean, move? No, it's not, because the people that as my mentor, my pastor mentioned, he used to say, the people I played with in high school were not the same people I played with in college, and then the people I played with in college were not the same people that I played with in the league. And what does that mean? That means at the next level, a lot of times the players change, and that's a hard pill to swallow. But as you take your business to the next level, it may involve a lot of these same uncomfortable types of situations that you're gonna have to navigate through. But the reality is that when you show appreciation, when you acknowledge what did take place, and then of course at some point it comes down to the monetary part, what percentage and things of that nature. It's about looking at it the same way as I mentioned before, like a relationship. And this is your baby. And now you're looking at, and you're saying to your significant other, when it comes to raising this baby, your partner, you're saying, hey, listen, in order for our baby to get to the next league, right, the next level or whatever, this is what we're going to need to do. I'm going to need to take lead in this space. We've talked about strengths and weaknesses and things of the nature, and you're still there, but you're going to need to play a different role, right? You may need to now slide to silent partner at this point, and we're going to need to bring on X, Y, and Z. Why? Because, well, we both have something in common. We both care about this baby, and at the end of the day, we both want this baby to be at their best, and when it's at the best, it benefits all of us, right? And so having that kind of caring conversation mixed in, of course, with the details, right? So what does that look like? Monetarily, what does that look like? How does the relationship change? The roles change? These are some things that you should strongly consider before you actually have that conversation. Use your knowledge of your friend, right, as your guide to how you should breach that dialogue, right? How you should have that dialogue, because at the end of the day, don't stay in the realm of business partner. No. You started this as friends, and you have to transition this as friends with a little business partner lining to it.
Okay, listen, I have to take a break. We're going to continue our conversation. We're talking about getting your money right for 2020 from the perspective of being an entrepreneur, getting that business off the ground. Donavan West in studio here with the African American Chamber of Commerce. We're going to continue that conversation after this.